وابعثه اللهم المقام المحمود الذي وعدته إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. After the Sunnah please, you're not allowed to talk during the khutbah. Remember this. Listen very carefully.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Wait, hold on. Where are you taking me? Dusk immediately fills the air. Why are you taking me? Why under the earth? Why this low? Don't leave me. I'm coming too. Wait, I can't move. Yes, brothers and sisters, this is the fate of each and every one of us here today. It's dark, it's cold, and He lay there waiting for us to accompany Him. Brothers and sisters, it is our final destination. It is the grave. Have you ever sat there and asked yourself, am I ready? Am I practicing for the last day? Am I ready to die tomorrow? Brothers and sisters, are we ready to be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are we continuously fasting, praying, being Muslims of the best character, or even reading at least a page of the Quran every day, where one letter of the Quran obtains one virtue, each virtue multiplying to 10 virtues? Or are we popping on those earphones, listening to music, disrespecting our elders and parents, making excuses when it comes to prayer, or reading Quran, or even falling victim to the haram temptations of dunya that we're exposed to every day of our lives, given we're in a non-Islamic region of the world? Is this what we're building to get us to paradise, to get us to Jannah? Or if it is, then I don't blame you for being scared of death. Because these un-Islamic actions need to be stopped and avoided before it's too late. Brothers and sisters, I'm sure the majority of us here today continue to listen to music when we have the Quran, the Holy Book of Islam, delivered by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's no excuse to say that we weren't taught when we were young, or because we're not of Arabic background. Being in such an Islamic school, we notice people that aren't even of Arabic background, and yet can recite the Quran in such a breathtaking manner. Say you didn't know how to read the Quran. Does it mean you listen to music? Or do you listen to anashid, or at least find the meaning of certain ayat in the Quran? How about the parents? Do we respect them in the way they deserve to be respected? Do we lower our heads in shame when we upset them? Or do we yell and argue and think we're invincible, we're always right and they're always wrong? If you were a rich man with a large beard and built masjids and guided people to Hajj, the Islamic pilgrimage, and went there multiple times, but neglected your parents as a result of meaningless arguments and left them in a nursing home to live the last years of their life, where do you think you'll end up? All I can say is that you probably won't even get a sniff of Jannah. The importance of parents in Islam is continuously overlooked. In As-Sahihain, it's reported that Ibn Abbas said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, which deed is the best? He said, faith in Allah and His Messenger, and then honouring one's parents. Yes, brothers and sisters, respecting your parents is the next step after believing in Allah and His Messenger, and indeed has an extremely high rank in the religion of Islam. Education. Allah asks, what does education have to do with Islam? If your excuse of not being educated is that it's not going to benefit you in the hereafter, and that it just helps you in this world to get the cash and live the life, then I'm here to tell you you're wrong. The first and most important obligation on us is to acquire education or knowledge, and secondly, to practice and preach this knowledge. None of us are true Muslims unless we understand and know the meaning of Islam. The only way we can follow the footsteps of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to know the basic and necessary teachings he put forward. Without knowledge, how can we follow him? How can we believe him? The great Islamic leaders of our past did not become great leaders because they were born into Islam, but because of the great levels of knowledge that they had possessed. Hence, this education plays an essential role in resisting the temptations of dunya that many of us tend to fall victim to. Brothers and sisters, think of it as a man fishing. The shaitan is the fisherman, and the bait he puts on the hook of his rod are the temptations of dunya. The ocean is the dunya, and the terrestrial area is Jahannam. So who do you think are the fish? Who do you think grab these temptations without thinking twice, get hooked on, finish their time in this world and enter Jahannam? Or the fish that tend to avoid these temptations, knowing the consequences of their actions, and eventually, after their time is up, enter Jannah? Yes, brothers and sisters, these fish resemble us humans. People of Islam, I warn you that the temptations of dunya, starting from listening to music, to hanging out with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, to even committing adultery, will get you into that outer terrestrial environment, that outer hell Jahannam. It's because of these temptations that the human race nowadays shivers in fear when the topic of death is spoken about. We don't want to hear about death because we simply don't want to die. And why is that? Because we're not ready. And why aren't we ready? Because we continuously keep on clinging on to these hellbound temptations. I'm sure that everyone here today knows that death is a topic that shouldn't and can't be taken lightly. Brothers and sisters, are we ready to watch our loved ones grieve, to be covered in musk, wrapped in a cloth of white, and to be dropped in that dark, cold hole in the earth, the grave? It's not like getting sick and being put in your bed where you have pillows and a mattress. In the grave, you have nothing but yourself, the earth you're buried in, and the deeds from your time in the dunya. For those of you who have already witnessed the burial of a person or a loved one, how do they appear? They appear lifeless? They appear lifeless, of course. they look gone. They're not with you anymore. Those eyes are closed, that face is white with nur, and in fact, they're there next to you. They're watching you grieve at their departure. They're right on top of the body, even till they're buried with the very last grain of soil. They witness it all. And again, I ask, are we ready? It's understandable that being at such a young age, we think death is so far away, and that it's for the older people. And it feels like there's a lot of time before we reach it. But brothers and sisters, you may be laughing now for a day, and an hour later get hit by a car, suffocate, or just pass away in your sleep. In 2004, a 14-year-old boy, and in fact a mate student, like anyone here today, a cousin of mine, was smiling and laughing and being his usual self, coming home, praying, having lunch, watching TV with the family, studying hard and finishing his homework, and then going to sleep, and perhaps not knowing it was going to be his last, and died the following morning at 3 a.m. Or even the brothers that have lost their lives in car accidents and fishing trips. Most recently, may God have mercy and peace on their souls. Brothers and sisters, take these as examples to wake up to yourselves and follow Islam in the correct way, for you never know when your time's up. Pull those earphones out, open the Quran and read, open your books and study. Resist the hell-bound temptations of dunya and make the most of the time you have left on earth, because you never know when it will be you watching in shock at your own departure, when those planks of wood cover you in the darkness, when you finally return to your Lord. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيفوز المستغفرين. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على النبي المصطفى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على دربه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين ووفى. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه لكل خير، ومن أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين غير ذلك فخذه أخذا عزيزا مقتدر. يا جبار يا منتقم، اللهم اجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا ودياء دروبنا. اللهم علمنا منه ما جهلنا وذكرنا منه ما نسينا، وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار على النحو الذي يرضيك يا عزيز يا غفار. اللهم يا مالك نجنا من المهالك وأنت قادر على ذلك. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقيموا الصلاة.
جزاك الله خيرا.